What's up, guys? Mr. Dragonliger here to go over Season 9, Season of the Dawn. Alright, so let's get into the season. Um, you've started getting your first real content on the 17th of December, which was the obelisk on Nessus and the EDZ. And of course, your first real boss, the Sky Piercer, and the mission for Save a Legend. Now, the mission for the Legend, a Legend, was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It lasted more than 1 week, and it was just good to play. Some nice story, narrative. The boss, which is the Sky Piercer, is part of a horde mode of like defeating enemies and things like that. And that activity is the Sundial. Now, every week after that, or not necessarily every week, but you know, um, well, I guess yeah, it was every week up until around Christmas time. But you got an arc boss 1 week, you got a solar, and you got a void. That's pretty much how they split up each time the boss was changed up until the Empyrean Foundation. Now, from the 17th of December to the 14th of January was the Dawning, the Christmas event that they have, winter event, whatever, however you want to put it. And it was great for farming, XP if you really wanted to get those levels in your season pass out. So you could, get that done fairly quick within the first couple weeks of the season even coming out. Um, Iron Banner was just Iron Banner on Christmas Eve. And of course, you got another Sundial boss there. The Legend Sundial, it wasn't worth really doing more than once, which helped you get your seal. Other than that, you get one pinnacle drop per week, and it's just not worth the headache. There's no special loot in it that you can only get from that, so I really didn't waste my time too much on that. Now, the same day on the 7th of January of this year, the exotic quest for Devil's Ruin came out. That quest was so simple that it was basically just handed to you, so there was no real, like path or journey. It was just kind of like, here, you can have the gun. Now, a lot of controversy over this Bastion exotic quest because there was a mission through the corridors of time, and people figured out this whole puzzle thing. And I mean, it was like 6 days of people not going to sleep for the most part for hours on end to figure out this puzzle, which eventually you ended up getting the Bastion a week before this quest was supposed to start. So on the 28th of January, when you thought you were getting an exotic quest, you didn't get anything at all. They just kind of, Bungie was like, oh, well, you already found a secret and you got it early, so you don't get anything in return. Now, the Empyrean Foundation, which came out the 4th of February, it was basically all the fractaline that you've been collecting through the season. You get to donate to the foundation, which there's an obelisk in the tower. And if you reached a certain goal, which it was like, I think it was like 9,777,000 some odd numbers, which eventually it ended up unlocking the new mode that's going to come out in the next season, which is Trials of Osiris, which returns from the first Destiny, but Trials also was in the beginning of Destiny 2 before they removed it. But it'll be returning. It'll be part of the free-to-play model, so anyone will be able to play it. It's not like you have to own the next season pass. When the Empyrean Foundation came out, also the final boss for the Sundial came out, which that was interesting because it was a completely different setting than the other three, because the other three were in the same boss room. They were just a different element. Now this boss, that came out on the 4th, he was a mixture of all three elements. So you had different mechanics in there to beat him. It wasn't just like, do a major amount of damage, take his bar down, simple mechanics. This, ended up being like taking plates and things like that. Now, Crimson Days, which was your Valentine's event, which was from the 11th of February to the 18th of February, it's pretty much, if you played it last year, you pretty much had all the loot. So there wasn't a real need to play unless it was just you wanted to play PvP. So, other than that, you had weapon bounties and, from the beginning of the season, and really after you got the rolls you wanted on your weapons, there was no need to keep playing the Sundial. There was no need to keep playing those bounties. So if you were a player who puts a lot of time into Destiny, after the first month, you really didn't find much to do, and you kind of felt that the season was about up, and you got one mission, here and there for the Save the Legend quest, which eventually ended up, like Saint 14 appears in the tower. Now, if you follow the lore, you can find out exactly who Saint 14 is. Here, this past week, we got a glimpse into what's going to be happening in the next season, which is Season of the Worthy, which is supposed to have a new PvE activity, 3 new PvP maps, of course, Trials of Osiris returns, supposed to get another set of legendary weapons and armor. There's supposed to be an Iron Banner exotic quest. Of course, you get a new artifact. You got 100 plus season ranks. Now, from the past couple seasons, there's only been ranks up to 100. After that, you didn't get any bonuses for going over 100. So maybe there's something new there. There's going to be new exotic armor, new exotic weapons, and they're going to be changing your ability. So they'll be tuning that stuff. They're going to be tuning some of the old exotic armor. Some of them are going to have completely different perks and will no longer operate the same. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the season begins on March 10th. You get the Sereth Tower event, which is a new PvE activity, which will have new legendary weapons and armor. And that begins on March 10th, which is coming up next week. Now, on March 13th, that Friday, a few days after the season starts, of course, Trials of Osiris will start, which is the new PvP mode. It will return every weekend. There'll be a new seal for you to earn. I imagine it's just going to be completely Trials oriented. Sorry about that. It will be Trials based. There'll be Trials themed weapons and armor. Now, also beginning on the 10th and the 24th, will be the Sereth Bunker in the EDZ and Moon, a legendary lost sector. Now, beginning February 21st is Grandmaster Ordeal, new Nightfall Strike difficulty. You'll get a new seal, endgame rewards. So we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to be harder than the master version in the Nightfall Ordeals now, so we'll see what happens. They're supposed to be increasing your power level quite a bit, over 1,000, so we'll see how that goes. Now, running from April 21st to May 11th is Guardian Games, which is a free event for all players. It'll be a class competition with new legendary armor. So I guess it's like almost an Olympic for Guardians. Now on April 7th, we will get this Seraph Bunker on Io, which is a legendary lost sector. And they say, and more. So I know that a lot of people in the community were upset over what happened with the Bastion because they said you're going to get this on this date and you got nothing. So I think they put and more so that there's still secrets, something for you to look forward to, something for you not to be disappointed about. So we'll see how that goes. Now, they did release a trailer this past week for the new season coming up. And so I will get to playing it, and I will talk to you guys later.
Anna, are you there? Report.
The Cabal have taken out the primary engine.
It's like they want this thing to drift off into space forever.
Not forever. Guardian, the Almighty is plummeting towards the last city, and we have no way to stop it. If it comes to it, we Guardians must be the ones to make a hard choice.
Oh, I have been waiting for this.